they could have made a little bit of a comeback. We stopped that. Yeah, we sure did. Now we have to be able to continue to stack that, maintain that consistency right there. I'm so proud of you guys. So proud of you guys. That was a hard-fought win. You earned it. We got on 3, 1, 2, 3. Together.
A win is a win is a win, and the Indiana Fever without Caitlin Clark go up against the Las Vegas Aces and last year's MVP, A'ja Wilson, and walk away with a W, 80-70. Sophie Cunningham has been hot to trot. Sophie Cunningham has been on fire.
This changes everything. The Indiana Fever just rewrote the WNBA story. No Caitlin Clark, no mercy. What they did to A'ja Wilson's back-to-back champion Las Vegas Aces. It wasn't just a win, it was a statement victory. Stick around. What happened will transform how you see this team. Drop a like if you're ready for the truth.
Back in the W side.
Oh, that was a gut check win right there. Oh, nothing in the chat. Yes, Natasha Howard. That was a fun one. My gosh, and these jerseys are swag.
The pressure was immense. Back-to-back losses to New York. Superstar Caitlin Clark sidelined indefinitely, a groin injury halting her historic season. Entering Gamebridge Fieldhouse on July 24th, Indiana wasn't just playing basketball. They were fighting for their identity. Every headline screamed, without Clark, this team crumbles. Social media wrote them off. Analysts declared their playoff hopes finished. At 12-12, the world saw a fading team. Coach Stephanie White cut to the noise pregame. Great teams punish your mistakes. They'll end you if you slip up.
Yeah, it's definitely a relief to know that there's nothing else going on and no more damage. Now it's just being patient with the process. You can't have 5-minute lapses against great teams. They make you pay and they bury you in those moments. I think we've seen, throughout the course of the season, where we've been really good for long stretches and where we've weathered the ups and downs of a game, and we've got to be able to do that from a neutral mindset. We can't get into the playing conservative.
Las Vegas arrived ready to deliver that final blow. The Aces carried themselves like royalty. Despite their 12-11 record, their championship pedigree was undeniable. A'ja Wilson, Kelsey Plum, Jackie Young, Olympic gold medalists sensing vulnerability. While no reports confirmed it, the competitive tension was palpable. Clark's meteoric rise contrasted Wilson's established dominance. This was Vegas' opportunity. Prove titles outweigh hype.
Caitlin presents a challenge in itself for any opponent, but when she doesn't play, how is your team different?
I think our ball moves differently. What we run is different. She has such gravity and her ability, not just to be at the top of the scouting report, but her ability to make everybody better with the ball in her hands. So some of the things that we run are different when she's on the floor than when she's not. We run some more off-ball stuff, a lot less on-ball action.
Their strategy seemed dismissive. Swarm Aaliyah Boston, underestimate the supporting cast, and expose Indiana as a one-star team. Coach Becky Hammond noted pregame, our offense changes without Clark's gravity out there. Translation, they believed Indiana's system wouldn't function. The stage was set for an upset.
Obviously, there's no timeline for Caitlin, but what has she been able to do this last week? Is it mostly just rehab recovery, or has she been able to do any kinds of practice?
Yeah, no, we haven't really practiced since the couple days before All-Star break. So mostly rehab, shooting, and she's been with our athletic training team, and we've been preparing everybody else.
Kelsey Mitchell carried heavy expectations. All season, questions followed her. Fades in big games. Inconsistent. Not a true number 2 option. Early on, critics nodded knowingly. Shot after shot rimmed out. Just 4 makes in 19 attempts through 3 quarters. The arena's frustration grew audible. Then came Coach White's timeout breakthrough. Shoot with confidence. They'll fall. Her teammates responded. Crisper screens. Sharper ball movement. Better spacing.
Austin handoff Cunningham. Cunningham too strong. Mitchell able to save the day. And it's Mitchell going right to the rim. Beats the shot clock and lays it in. Mitchell to the rescue.
Sessions very disruptive, causing all kinds of havoc. Late shot clock situations. And then Kelsey.
And Mitchell? Ignited, 4th quarter. Game hanging in the balance. Drive, pull up, nothing but net. Her speed overwhelmed defenders. 9 critical points in the final period. 4 assists, leading all players. That early struggle vanished in a 21-point clutch masterpiece. Mitchell didn't fill Clark's shoes. She forged her own legacy.
Wilson thought about the three. Cunningham feed inside. Boston spinning, turning, ducking, finding Mitchell, who splashes home a three.
While Vegas focused on Clark's absence, Sophie Cunningham caught fire, quietly relentless. 6 straight games in double figures, a scorching 58% from deep in July. The league's most dangerous shooter. Doubters murmured, wait until she faces elite defense. Enter the champions. Cunningham didn't just score. She broke Vegas' spirit. Every Aces rally met a dagger 3. For 4 from distance. 15 points like perfectly timed explosions.
Offense was not the issue for Indiana on Tuesday. They put up 84 points despite the absence of Caitlin Clark. Cunningham hit 5 threes, and it's her first tonight. Stay with Indiana.
So Sophie Cunningham doing a really good job of reading the stagger. You have options off that, and she's...
Coach White's masterstroke, starting her, extra playmaker, floor spacer, rebounder, pure energy. Analysts now debate 6th player of the year frontrunner. This is no hot streak. It's a superstar emergence. The true difference maker wasn't offense. It was lockdown defense. Natasha Howard dominated. 18 points, 13 rebounds, 3 steals. She anchored a defensive wall that stifled Vegas. Relentless switches, denied passing lanes, one-shot possessions.
So you had Melissa Smith on you. I would just clear it out if you're Mitchell. Just tell everybody, go to the other side of the floor.
Cunningham straight away delivers with a 3.
Or that.
Howard's post-game insight revealed their identity. Our defense fuels our offense. We don't rely on flashy plays. We build through stops. The normally poised Aces looked unsettled. Turnovers piled up. 4 shots missed badly. Indiana didn't just play defense. They controlled the game with it. This defensive backbone?
Well, first of all, I started off with our defense. Our defense to get our offense going, and that's how we maintain games like that. We don't rely on our offense a lot. We rely on our defense to get when our defense is going, our offense is going. So we limited the Vegas to 1 shot, and that's how we got open shots for the shooters inside the paint and everything.
Why they thrive without Clark. Championship teams defend. Indiana just proved they belong in that conversation. 35 seconds remained. Fever clinging to a 5-point lead. Vegas charging. Season-defining possession. Not Erica Wheeler, Ari McDonald took center stage. Top of the arc ice in her veins. A step-back 3 with everything on the line. Swish, pure nylon. Vegas hopes evaporated. Clark, watching in street clothes, leaped up, pure elation cutting through her injury frustration. McDonald stat line, 3 for 3 from deep, 9 points, 4 assists, but only 1 fourth-quarter shot, the season-saving dagger. This wasn't chance. It was championship poise.
Really fun. Couple of former teammates played 2 years together.
Clear out. Take it.
Mitchell sizing up Lloyd. She will launch and bury a 3.
Get out of the way. Mitchell pulling the trigger from deep. Fever.
The earthquake that reshaped the WNBA. Final score, 84-79. But the numbers on that board, they were just the beginning. This wasn't a win. It was a seismic event, one that cracked open the foundation of the entire league. Indiana didn't just defeat the Las Vegas Aces. They shattered an entire narrative. And in doing so, they clinched something far more valuable than a single victory.
And for Sophie Cunningham to start again tonight, or what's your...
Yes.
What is it about her, I guess, at the start of a game that you like having her in the lineup?
Another ball handler, another player who can create shots for her teammates, as well as stretch the floor. A really good defensive rebounder as well. We had at times really struggled from a defensive rebounding standpoint, so like that as well. And her energy.
Season series tiebreaker, 2-1. Think about what this means. In the razor-thin margins of playoff basketball, tiebreakers aren't just tiebreakers, they're season savers. They're the difference between hosting a critical Game 1 and facing a hostile road crowd. They're the line separating momentum from misery. For Indiana, holding that 2-1 edge over the back-to-back champions isn't just an advantage, it's a strategic earthquake. The standings shift. Overnight, the landscape transformed. Indiana's record jumped to 13-12, catapulting them into sole possession of 6th place in the brutally competitive WNBA standings. But it's the how that reverberates. They didn't climb by beating a struggling team. They ascended by toppling Goliath without their David. Every other playoff contender watched this game. The message wasn't whispered. It was screamed from the rafters of Gainbridge Fieldhouse. The Fever are not a fluke. They are a force. Why this one terrifies the league. Depth exposed. For years, critics claimed superstar-driven teams could be shut down by neutralizing one player. Indiana just proved that narrative dead. Without Caitlin Clark, the engine of their offense and the focus of every opponent's scouting report, they didn't just survive, they thrived. Kelsey Mitchell's leadership, Sophie Cunningham's lethal shooting, Natasha Howard's defensive dominance, Ari McDonald's ice-cold dagger. This was a symphony of talent proving they could carry the load. The blueprint is broken. Opponents spent months crafting offenses to stop Clark. Las Vegas arrived confident their plan would work with her sidelined. Instead, Indiana unleashed an entirely different beast, one fueled by relentless ball movement, defensive intensity, and balanced scoring. How do you scheme against a team that can completely reinvent its identity overnight? Psychological domination. Beating the two-time champions does something profound to a team's belief. It erases doubt. It forges confidence. For Indiana, this win wasn't just points in the standings. It was a moment they truly believed they belonged with the elite. That self-assurance is a weapon no opponent can easily dismantle. The tiebreaker's tangible power. Let's break down why that 2-1 series win matters so intensely as the playoff race heats up. Head-to-head rules. The WNBA prioritizes direct matchups when teams finish with identical records. Indiana now holds the ultimate trump card over Vegas. If these two win the season tied, the Fever automatically get the higher seed. Home court dreams. Securing a top for seed means hosting a playoff series. That advantage, roaring home crowds, familiar rims, no travel fatigue, is monumental. Every single win and every critical tiebreaker edges Indiana closer to that coveted home court territory. Avoiding the Giants, finishing 6th versus 7th or 8th could mean the difference between facing a slightly vulnerable contender in round 1 or running headfirst into an absolute juggernaut like New York or Seattle. Controlling their destiny through tiebreakers gives Indiana a fighting chance for a more favorable path. Social media eruption and the narrative flip. Within minutes of the final buzzer, the digital world exploded. The hashtag Fever proved it trended nationally. Analysts who'd written their obituary just days earlier scrambled to revise their playoff projections. I owe the Fever an apology, tweeted one prominent voice. This isn't the Caitlin Clark show. This is a team. The skepticism that had hung over Indiana all season, the whispers of being one-dimensional, over-reliant, not a true contender, evaporated in the face of this performance. The new narrative was undeniable. The Indiana Fever are legitimate. They are deep, they are resilient, and they are coming for everyone. Coach White's quiet confidence. Post-game, Stephanie White didn't gloat. She radiated a calm, steely assurance. This one wasn't an accident, she stated, her voice firm. It was built on preparation, trust, and a relentless effort of every player in that locker room. We knew who we were, even when others doubted. Tonight, we showed the world. Her words weren't just about this game. They were a declaration for the battles ahead. The ripple effect across the WNBA. In contending locker rooms, a sense of unease spread. If Indiana could dismantle Vegas without Clark, what havoc could they wreak with her? The Fever instantly transformed from a tough matchup into a nightmare potential playoff opponent. For the Aces, this loss was a gut punch. Losing the tiebreaker stung, but the psychological blow, being beaten at their own championship game by a depleted team, was profound. It exposed vulnerabilities other teams would study intensely. For Fever fans, hope wasn't just restored. It was ignited into a bonfire. This was the tangible proof they'd craved. Proof that their team wasn't just Clark's supporting cast, but genuine, cohesive unit capable of greatness. More than just July 24th. This victory wasn't confined to one night in Indianapolis. It echoed forward. The schedule ahead, knowing they hold the tiebreaker over Vegas, gives Indiana crucial breathing room. It allows them to approach tough upcoming games against Phoenix, Minnesota, and Dallas not with desperation, but with confidence. Every win now isn't just a step forward. It's a potential nail in a rival's coffin thanks to tiebreakers secured. The Clark factor. Imagine the lift this performance gives Caitlin Clark during her rehab. Returning to a team that just proved it can beat the best without her? That's not pressure, that's pure rocket fuel. Her integration back into a lineup brimming with proven confidence becomes terrifying for opponents. A championship caliber revelation. True title contenders win in different ways. They win shootouts. They win grinded out defensive battles. And critically, they win when adversity strikes. when injuries hit, when critics scream loudest. By dominating the champs without their superstar, Indiana passed their most difficult test yet. They didn't just survive adversity, they weaponized it. The final verdict, the 84-79 scoreline, tells you who won the game. The 2-1 season series tells you who holds a strategic advantage. But the roaring crowd, the stunned silence from the Aces bench, and the electrified buzz across the WNBA, that tells you something far more important. The Indiana Fever arrived, not as a curiosity, not as a one-woman phenomenon, but as a complete, dangerous, and legitimate championship contender. The playoffs just got exponentially more interesting, and the Fever, armed with belief, depth, and a critical tiebreaker, have announced they are ready for the storm. The message is no longer whispered. It's echoing through every arena. This isn't the Caitlin Clark show. This is the Indiana Fever ERA. Imagine the chilling realization sweeping across the WNBA. Caitlin Clark, the most electrifying talent in basketball, is set to return not to a dependent squad, but to a battle-tested juggernaut. This isn't just a comeback, it's an escalation. During Clark's absence, the Fever didn't crumble, they evolved. Kelsey Mitchell transformed from a scorer into a floor general, orchestrating plays with veteran poise. Sophie Cunningham shooting ascended from reliable to radioactive, stretching defenses until they snapped. Natasha Howard emerged as a defensive anchor, her intensity infecting every rotation. Proof of Indiana's offseason mission to fortify their once-leaky defense with hardened champions like DeWanna Bonner. Then there's Ari McDonald, the hardship signing turned heartbeat stabilizer. Her ice in the veins three-pointer against Vegas wasn't luck. It was a microcosm of the depth this team now wields. Coach Stephanie White's post-game grin after that one said it all. This was earned. We built this. Her words weren't celebration. They were a warning. The Fever's 13-12 record isn't just a playoff ticket. It's evidence of a system thriving under pressure. Clark's reintegration won't mean carrying the load alone. It means unleashing a more dangerous version of this roster. Mitchell driving alongside her in a dual-engine backcourt. Cunningham spacing the floor with lethal efficiency. Howard and Bonner locking down the paint, and McDonald injecting chaos off the bench. The movement the Fever touted, bigger than basketball, is now a reality. They play with a connected fury that physicality can't disrupt. When number 22 steps back onto the court, she won't be rescuing a fading team. She'll be amplifying a contender that learned to win without her. The balance of power isn't shifting. It's already shifted. The storm isn't coming. It's here. The Fever aren't waiting. They're dominating now. Comment Red Hot Sophie if you believe in this team. Drop down what was your favorite moment. Debate below. Subscribe and hit the bell notification. Clark's return is coming, and you need to witness what happens next. Indiana just declared war on the league. They're not a one-star wonder. They're a force of nature.